Welcome to the StephaneFunga podcast. You are listening or watching The Journey. My name is Stéphane Kakombe Funga Mukaba. If you do work with me, you've known me as Kakombe. If you've met me outside of work, you've known me as Stéphane or StephaneFunga. This is my story, and we are in episode 2. If you have not watched episode 1, I suggest that you go and watch episode 1 and then come back to continue on episode 2. In episode 1, I spoke about my parent, my mom and dad. But I'll speak again about my family as we continue in episode 2. I wanted to bring some dates as I was speaking in episode 1. I did not reference what year my dad was born. My dad was born in 1936. And he enrolled in the Congo Belgium Army in 1956. That's like 4 years before the Congolese independence. My dad was a man who was ahead of his time, because back then, a lot of people in Africa did not marry outside their tribe. But my dad left Eastern Congo and went to Kananga and married a woman from Kasai, my mother, Lusamba Victorine. And together they had 10 children, like I said. And I am the third born. The fourth, actually. The fourth. But my brother passed away before I was born. So now we are leaving Kananga. On Mobutu's time, my dad wanted to go back to his region, which is eastern of Congo. But in Mobutu time, Mobutu did not want soldiers to go back where they came from. In his logic or in his thinking, he did not feel like soldiers should go back where they are known, because those soldiers will not be effective. They will not be impartial if everybody in the region know who they are. So my dad was moved to the region called Maniema, and KINDU is the big city of Maniema. So we'll leave Kananga and we'll go to KINDU. And I will start school, primary school in KINDU. But because as a child, I was really causing a lot of problem to my parents, my dad decided that instead of me going to a daycare, he put me straight to primary school. So I started primary school, I think I was 4. So my dad will drop me to school with my lunch, and I'll be there. The teachers will mind me, and my sisters will mind me there in school. The fact that I went to school early, so most of the kids that I was hanging out with, they were all older kids. And I started learning things from the older boys. So in KINDU, when we arrive in KINDU, my dad has a lot of military. We stay in camp Mupaya, which is a military camp in Kindu. And after a few years, my dad bought a land and decided that to build a home for us. So we moved from Camp Upaya and we went to stay in 3Z Avenue, which is like, the longest avenue in Kindu, start from the airport and across Kindu. In 1974, my grandpa, who I am named, his name is Kakombe, so I am named after him, passed away. And my dad, obviously, his dad passed away. His family, we were all born in, at that level in Kasai, and one of my brother and one of my sister, they were born in Kindu. And my dad wanted us to go and pay respect because his dad just passed away. So as a military man with his family, we had to fly military. So, to fly from Kindu to Goma. My dad requested that, he should get an opportunity to fly to take his family to his dad's burial. As we were all planning to go to Goma, the whole family, we had an accident, a plane accident, a plane crash, the plane that was taking us to Goma. Miraculously, all of us survived that plane crash. Only my big sister had a broken arm. My dad has a shock in his head. But everyone else in the family, we all were safe. We survived a plane crash. Obviously, it's a big deal, a military plane crash. And this soldier, Andre Funga Mukaba, and his family, all of them, survived. So it's a big thing. People say, oh no, this information need to reach the president. That's Mobutu's time. But again, my dad was ahead of his time. He was like, no. If Mobutu find out that I survive with all my kids and we have to go and meet him, he's going to ask me, how did I survive the plane crash? He probably going to think I have some juju or something special that he might ask me, and I don't have anything. And he thought, I don't think that is a safe move. So my father, like I say, was very influential in a Kindu because he was an accountant and also a secretary in the army. So he killed the story. As I was actually preparing for this podcast, in one of the picture I saw at the back of it, one of my sisters actually wrote something in Lingala saying, oh, this is the picture after we survived a plane crash and we did not get anything, which today is kind of funny, reading that note. And I've posted on my website one of the pictures where, just after the whole family survived a plane crash. But my dad was so ahead of his time And a lot of things that he did back then for a lot of people, they don't make sense. But as I'm finishing this episode 2, there are 3 things that I wanted to share, things that my dad told me. The first one, my dad always told me, because as I explained, I was a difficult child. I caused so much problem to my parents. The first thing he will tell me is, whoever eat without working, if you don't work, you eat. He will tell me that you're stealing my food. So for me to eat, even in my home back then, I had to do something. My dad will work in the morning or leave a task that I need to do. And if I did not do it, I'll be in trouble. And every time I wanted to complain about something that he wanted me to do, he would tell me that, oh, you have to go and do your job first. Because the time that you're complaining here, the job is not being done. So he always tell me to do the job first and then complain after. Because while you're complaining, the job is not being done. A lot of people that have worked with me, some have referred to me, oh, Kakombe is a taskmaster. Yes, because it is something I've learned from my father. And the third thing that I'll share in this episode, my dad always told me, every time I was in trouble or every time I had a situation, a difficult situation, he would say to me, remember your name. If you watch episode 1, my name Funga Mukaba means fasten your belt. Those 3 things that I've shared with you in this episode, they've got me where I am today. I always remember my name. If I have something to do, I always make sure that it is done before I complain about it. And I've never eaten something from someone that I don't feel I should not. You are listening or watching The Journey, my story. My name is StephaneFunga Mukaba, or StephaneFunga, or Kakombe if you know me at work. In episode 3, I'll be sharing with you my journey through primary school and what happened, my life in KINDU. Thank you so much. And if you like more of this content, please subscribe to my channel, StephaneFunga, and visit my website, StephaneFunga.com or kakombe.com. I am sharing pictures of my journey on my website. Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye-bye.